Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, Batmander here. Today we are watching some Dota 2, and this is actually team games that are going on. I decided, I'm going to try doing this. I'm going to try commentating on some games that I find on the Dota 2 network. Basically, you can do this by going into Dota 2, going into live games, clicking team games as your preference to sort it out, and just find whatever game you think will be interesting. I found this one. These guys looked interesting to me, so I thought I might try it out. Anyway, we have the OlD RePubliK versus marseille. Now, not too sure how these guys' names turn out. I don't know what if I pronounce marseille right. Anyway, for the bans on the dire team, we have a normal, pretty casual Doom. Sorry, we have a normal, pretty casual for the dire team. Timbersaw, Invoker, ban out. For the Radiant team, we do have another casual and pretty normal ban out of Bristleback and Doom. Both of them being very annoying late game. Bristleback even early game is annoying as hell. Timbersaw, of course, is annoying all around with his passive tankiness. He's hard to deal with, especially if he manages to get farmed or get fed. It's really hard to stop him. Invoker, of course, is Invoker, and he has so much range of abilities that it's pretty hard to exactly predict what he is going to do, which is why he's such a strong hero. Anyway, for the dire team, we do have a first pick of Bane. Very good hero. He has a lot of shutout. His major abilities, he's a very big support, but he can also do quite a bit of damage. Let me tell you his abilities. First, he has Enfeeble, which basically reduces the amount of damage a hero can do. Now, I'm not sure how it does it. I wonder if this will let me see. Yeah, there it is. Okay, it does reduction over however many levels he has, 30, 90, stuff like that. Very good ability to have in a team fight to shut down the carry. So if the carry comes in, right clicks, sees your carry's pretty weak, wants to take him out, you can just enfeeble him. He does a little bit of quite a bit less damage and can't do much. He's not much of a threat. Next, his Brain Sap. It's his major damage dealing ability. It basically takes health from the enemy target and gives it to himself. It can also deal quite a bit of damage. I think it does in the end like 300 damage. Yeah, last level does 300 damage, which is very scary if you're running away. His third ability, very powerful, and you've probably seen it before. It's called Nightmare. Basically, he locks down an enemy target in a nightmare, which does damage over time. And if you attack it, the problem with it though is if another enemy attacks it, they then become nightmared. So they can save their friend who you lock down and take it on themselves. It's normally what a tank will do in these situations because they can have the health. Problem is also, if your ally attacks a nightmared character with a right-click attack, they then become nightmared. And yeah, so it can go either way. Anyway, for the first pick the second pick they picked up was Nix Assassin. Now we all know what Nix Assassin is. He's a very roll around, find the weak one, kill them immediately. With his great abilities. His ultimate gives him extra damage when he comes out, but he has to right-click the enemy when he comes out. It's kind of an auto attack. And he has a stun, a mana burn to get rid of the mana, and Spike Carapace, which mini-stuns anyone who attacks him with any ability or even right-click damage. Very powerful, and he's great at escaping and getting away. Anyway, we go to look at the Radiant team. Looks like they got Mirana and Rubik. Now, Mirana, a great even field player, can be carry, can be durable, good at supporting as well if need be. She's like pretty average, pretty all-round hero. Very good pick there. Her ability is basically a Star Storm, basic damage dealing ability. Calls down a array of stars around her, dealing damage to any enemy heroes or creeps. It does have a chance at later levels to drop a second star. Now, it's luck dependent there if it lands on a hero or another creep. I've seen it a few times when I play her. It has landed on the creeps. So yeah, there's that. Her second ability is Sacred Arrow, which basically is a stun. It's a very skill shot stun though. So she throws out an arrow in a straight line from where you cast it. The further it travels, and if it hits a target, the longer they're stunned. Problem is it can hit creeps, and that causes quite a few problems. Her last ability is Leap, basically just lets her get away, and it also gives her more attack speed and movement speed. And her final ability is Moonlight Shadow, or whatever it is. I'm not sure what the proper name is, but it actually lets her entire team go invisible for a certain amount of time, so very good at setting up. Next we have RePubliK, the Archmagus. Great hero, very hard to predict, especially since he can actually pick you up with his first ability, which is kind of like a stun. People can still attack you if you're picked up, and he can slam you back down to tam the rest of the team. He has Fade Bolt, which is a damage dealing ability, just bounces in between people. Spell Shield to protect him from any major spell damage. And his ultimate, which allows him to steal any ability from anyone on the enemy team. So he can take any one of your abilities that the recent one you've casted, which is really good for, especially if they got, say, Luna with her ability. Anyway, then we have Clockworks. Clockworks is a great lockout hero. He's got, oh god, what's that first ability called? Battery Assault. Battery Assault basically launches out little things around him to deal damage to people around him. He then has Cogs, which sprouts up these little cogs that deal damage to people trying to get into them, and also he can lock in people with him, and that's how he normally gets his kills. He has to fight. Flare reveals an area around people and does damage, and his Hook, his ultimate, which allows him to go straight to people, would normally he then cogs. Dragon Knight, we all know Dragon Knight. He has his Flare, his Dragon's Breath, I think it is, Breath of Fire, which basically deals line of damage of fire. He then has Dragon Tail, which is a Sunner's. It's very short range though. He's got a passive aura which gives him health regen and armor. Very annoying, he's very tanky late game. And then his ultimate, which basically turns him into a dragon. So he gets extra movement speed, extra attack range, and a different attack. He also gets a special attack, like first level he gets Corrosive, which does damage over time. Second one he gets Splash damage. And third one he gets Slow, Splash damage, and damage over time. So he's pretty powerful. Looks like OlD RePubliK actually managed to pick up Luna. Luna has a very powerful abilities, hard-ass carry, and is scary to deal with. Luna has Lucent Beam, which is a small stun, but does damage. It's kind of just a straight line down, hits an enemy, deals the damage, and stuns him for less than a second. Her second ability, Moonglaive, allows her abilities to bounce in between different targets, which makes her great for doing racks, because she can attack the racks, the two racks, and the tower at the same time, which is very good. Her third ability, Lunar Blessing, actually gives a buff to damage around her for herself and her allies. It's not global, it's just an aura around. It's still really powerful to have. And her last thing is her ultimate, Luna Eclipse. This basically launches a bunch of her first ability Q around her. It doesn't stun, it just deals pure damage, or magic damage, to those around her. Based on how much she has leveled up her Q. So if her Q is level 4, it's going to do oh god, where is it? It's going to do 300 damage, and it's going to hit whoever it hits 12 times, I think it is. No, 4 times. So it's going to be 300 times 4. That's a lot of damage. Next pick for the Dire team was Ancient Apparition. Now, this guy's pretty the same. He's got Cold Feet, which is a slow if you, it's a damage over time, but also can be a stun if you stay near the original cast point. Ice Vortex is basically your average slow, and it just slows down the enemy trying to get away. His third ability, Chilling Touch, actually is a area of effect thing. He plays it down. Any allies that are caught within it get reduced attack speed, but buffed attack damage. And his final ultimate is a giant circle ball of ice that when it lands, you cannot be healed, and you take a massive amount of damage over time. You also get slowed for a small duration, then it just goes off. Anyway, the Radiant team's final pick, Clinks for the hard carry. He will be very annoying to deal with. His first ability, Strafe, just gives him basically bonus attack speed over a duration of time. His second ability, Searing Arrows, gives him extra damage. They don't do damage over time, but it's basically he shoots fire arrows at you. Skeletal Walk is a bonus movement speed and invisibility duration ability. So it's basically how he runs around. He'll pop up behind you and strafe you and fire arrow you. His final ability, Death Pact, actually allows him to steal health, to eat a big creep, and then he gets the amount of health and, I think, damage from the creature. So he gets extra health and damage. And the final pick for the Dire team is Templar Assassin. Now she basically has a shield that protects her from all types of damage, whether it be tower, ultimate, anything. She has an invis that lets her go invis on the spot, and when she comes out of it, she gets a critical strike damage. Her third ability, Psyblades, gives her range, and she can also hit different creeps if she angles it right. It's kind of complicated to work out. And her ultimate is actually a slow that deals a little bit of damage. she can place them down. They're traps. She can place them down. I think at the end she can place 8 on the map. And anytime someone walks over them, she can activate them. It blows up, does a little bit of damage, and slows them by a massive amount. So she's great for chasing down people. These teams look very interesting. I am excited for this game, but just looking at this lineup, it's going to be hard for either team to pull this out of the bag, but let's see how we go. Okay, so let's check out the lineup. Tactical pause at the beginning of the game. Good work. Oh, wait, no, not tactical pause. They're waiting for their friend to connect. Oh, whoops. Taking another sip of coffee. Okay. So let's check out the Radiant teamed lineup. We have Yang Cheng as Clinks. We have Red as Clockworks. FXIXI as Dragon Knight. Spare my life, please, as Marana. And sorry, I don't speak Chinese, but that Rubik. And then we have for the Dire team, we have Ordric Abyss as Templar Assassin, Soul Eater as Luna, Ordric Antowak as Bane, Silencer, yeah, it's Silencer, I can read that, that's right, I can't read Chinese, but I can read that, guys, as Ancient Aberration, and the Chosen Pessimist as Nynx Assassin. So let's see how this game plays out, shall we, ladies and gentlemen? As soon as the unpause comes out, I believe they might just be doing tactical stuff at this point in the game. Oh, I wonder if they're going to unpause. Okay, come on. Come on. Yeah, come on, he's connected, guys. Oh, I wonder what they're thinking. G. Yeah, dude, you paused. I don't know why you're saying G. They're good to go, dude. This happens sometimes. You do get the tactical pause at the beginning of the games. They did want to wait for their Luna to connect, I guess. But now it's just like going a bit overtime now. Come on. What's this do? Oh! Items. See, look, I'm learning things too, guys. I'm learning things too. Okay, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Let's start off the game. Everyone getting their items. Let's see what first items are. Okay, so we have Rubik. Not going wards, it's going to give Marana. So Marana might be going supportish, I think. Maybe? No, she'll be going mid lane. I'd hope she'd go mid lane. It looks like it might be tri-lane top of Rubik, Clinks, and Dragon Knight. What? Oh, they're roaming at this point. Smoke gank. Oh, they're going to be a smoke 5-man gank top, trying to catch out the first person to get up there, which it looks like it might be Luna. So for their team, this is oh God, I can't wait to see how this turns out. This is pretty cool. So smoke gank, gonna go top. That's a cool Dragon Knight, by the way. Helm of Uldurak, Armor of the Drake, inscribed Ash Tongue. Cool. So let's see how this works out for them. They're just roaming the jungle at this point. The smoke will run out soon, but they will be in good position to get this. Looks like they're gonna have Templar Assassin and Bane roaming in here as well. Just clearing that little path there. No one actually sees each other at this point. Oh, here we go. Ancient Apparition going to be caught out here. And he spotted the enemy team. They all go on him. This is going to be dangerous. Oh, the stuns. Too many stuns for him to deal with. Oh, we go. Ancient Apparition. First blood. 10 seconds before the game even starts. My God. Before the game even started, they got first blood. Well played by the Radiant team. Very well played indeed. I don't blame the Dire team for doing that. I mean, they could not have seen them. They didn't have the early wards out. They just would not have been able to spot that coming, and I would not have expected it. But yeah, there it is. And looks like Dragon Knight might be picking up the DD rune. Yep, Dragon Knight picks up the DD rune. So now let's see what the laning phase is. We have Clinks, Rubik bottom with up against the Nynx. We have Clockworks up against Bane, sorry, English failed me there. Bane up against Ancient Apparition and Luna. Luna looks like she might be Russian or something. Oh, there's the arrow! Oof, hits the creep. See, that's what I was talking about. It can hit creeps too, which is very oh, wait, we're gonna have Dragon Knight mid. Something I haven't seen before, so we'll see how this works out. I'm pretty sure it is a pro league thing. It is in the pro leagues and has been played before. I just haven't seen it before, so we'll see how this works. Why is he taking damage? Oh, he's tanking creeps. He really wants his last. See Templar Assassin. If she lines it up properly, she can hit multiple targets at once. See, like that. You see the little flash? That was her ability going off. So tri-lane bottom is actually going to be Murata Rubik Clinks versus Nynx.